Hi guys, welcome to the Guitars and Gear Show. I'm John. So for today's episode, we're going to go over how to get the Kemper sitting right back there, connected like I have here, onto my iPad Pro. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to show you all the connections. I'm going to show you how this works, what it does do, what it doesn't do, what I wish it did. And yeah, with all that, coming right up. Okay, as you can see here, we've got the back of the Kemper. So this is how I have it plugged in right now. This is how I have it plugged in all the time. It's currently powered on. And so let me just go through all the connections real quick back here so it doesn't confuse you guys at all. Right here, as I'm pointing, is the alternate input. I just have my guitar input going into there so it's not in the front. It just looks cleaner to me, so I leave it like that. These two right here are for the expression pedal that I have plugged in right now. So I'm using both the switch on the pedal and the actual expression pedal itself. Left and right XLR outs goes to my audio interface. Couldn't think of the word. Right down here is my USB cable going into my computer, power obviously, and this white cable is the one I wanted to draw your attention to. This is plugged into the network port. This is just it's a Cat 6 Ethernet cable going from the network port on the back of the Kemper, and it's going to my wireless router that's basically right above the Kemper on a shelf. So that's how it's all plugged in. Now, the only thing to keep in mind when you're trying to connect your Kemper to your iPad in like either the lunchbox version like I have, or the head, or the rack version, is you have to be on the same network as what your iPad is going to connect to. So in this case, this is plugged in directly to the router, and it's a wireless router, and then my iPad is connected to that wireless router. And so therefore, everything's on the same network and you're good to go. Now, if you have a Kemper Stage, you don't have to worry about that connection at all because you already have wireless built into your Kemper Stage, so you're good to go out of the box. Now, we're going to cut out of this and we'll get back to how everything then works magic with the software. So we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, so right now I'm recording the screen on my iPad, and I wanted to show you guys where to find the app and downloading it and all that good stuff. So in the app right here, I'm just clicking on search, go into search here and type in Kemper and rig manager. And there you got it right there. Now I already downloaded it, so no sense in downloading it again, but there it is right there. You'll just install it onto your iPad and you're good to go from there. Okay, now let's open it up. And I already had it open before, so we're just going to open it back up again. So now what it's doing is scanning for devices. The Kemper is currently turned on. It sees the Kemper. You just saw that happen really fast. So it's actually connected to the Kemper right now. This is the current thing. There's a camera on the Kemper right now as well, so you can see that. And it's the same setting. So something really cool, you can use the Apple Pencil, which I'm using right now. You guys can't tell because you're just looking at a screen recording along with the Kemper there. But just take a look at rig volume, which is right here. So take a look there, and as I gain or raise and lower the volume of the rig, you'll be able to see that actually happen in real time. And I'm just turning it all the way down, and I can turn it all the way up, and so you can see that happening instantaneously on the Kemper. Same thing if I turn off the reverb. So you can see that the reverb is currently turned on right there. And if I hit the reverb on here, and we're going to turn it off, and you can see that that light turned off. Hopefully that comes through on camera. It looks like it did. Some other things that you can do is, well, obviously anything you can do with Rig Manager on that certain preset, you can do in here. So let's just say you want to change out that natural reverb because you don't want that natural reverb. You can do that. You can just hit those 3 lines right there. You go to your reverbs. You have all these natural reverbs there. You can go with easy reverb, whatever you want to change it to, and it will change it right on the fly. So it's very cool. So if I want to do the mod reverb, I can just go to that and have all the settings right there for me. So it's very nifty, very cool. You can even do your morphing on here. So yeah, really anything that you could do with Rig Manager for that preset. So now, when I say Rig Manager, what I'm talking about is when you open Rig Manager on your computer, the bottom portion of the Rig Manager is basically what this is. So this is just your editing portion for a preset. Now, if you wanted to get into more detail on, you know, managing your presets and things like that in a more intimate way, like being able to, you know, copy things from your local library over to your Kemper or vice versa, or going to the Rig Exchange and getting more stuff. This you cannot do that with, at least yet, and it may not happen. And the reason why is because if you have a Kemper stage, you're not able to do. You're having to connect your wireless directly from your iPad directly to your Kemper stage, which means you have no internet availability on your iPad, so you can't really bring up the Rig Exchange if you're not connected to the internet, because you're connected directly to your Kemper stage. So in that aspect, it may never change as far as being able to do that type of functionality. Now, one type of functionality I would like, that on the app, on the iPad, the only thing you can really do is, well, you can store your rig. You can store your rig as a new rig. You can do that, but you cannot open a list of all of your current rigs that you have stored locally on your Kemper, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, I can go back and forth here. I can scroll through, and you can see it scroll also on the Kemper. So, you know, that works just fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the only problem is you don't have a full list. So if you wanted to find a specific rig, you're going to have to jump to the Kemper and go through and browse all your rigs and get to one. I mean, you could do it this way if you want to go back and forth like that, but man, it's a real pain in the butt to try to find. If you have 100, like right now, I have 289 different profiles stored on my Kemper, so having to go through 289 of those to find the one you want, going one at a time on the iPad, is pretty ridiculous. So I don't think it's designed for that. I think it's designed for dial in your tone or your rig, your profile on the Kemper itself, and then if you need a deep dive and do some changes and volumes and cuts and things like that, you can do that really handily on your iPad, but you just can't really browse all your rigs and stuff. Now maybe that can change. I don't see why that can't change. That seems like an easy option there. There are these 3 little dots, which I was hoping was going to do something, but all that does is rename your rig, undo all rig changes, or clear all morphs. So if you do have morphs on there, you can clear them all out directly. Other than that, everything else is here. All your outputs are here. All your output options are on here. So that's good. So everything that has to do with the rig itself is available on here, which is really nice. Now, also the built-in profiles, you can go through for your amplifiers, you can go through and select those. But that's it. You can't actually go in and select different rigs. So I wish you could, but you really can't. So, there's just options in there to change what's in your current rig, basically. So kind of a bummer, but I understand it at the same time. So it's not a huge deal, but it's kind of sucks a little bit that you don't have all of them. But this is still beta. This is still early, and there's still a lot that can be done here with updates and things like that. So maybe they'll unlock the ability to do the rig exchange, and if you're just connected directly to your Kemper stage, you won't be able to do that, but you know, who knows? This is early days. So I just want to give you guys a quick run through of this, what it does, what it doesn't do, what I wish it did. Hope you guys got something out of this. And there you go. This is how it looks on the screen. You can also start in demo mode. So really, guys, if you want to download this right now and just go through and mess around with it a little bit, you can. You can't do a whole lot with it in demo mode. But you can see my profiler is up there and it's ready to connect, and boom, it just connects right away. And it stays stable. And one more thing before we cut out of here and go to our conclusion and some thoughts is this will work wireless now. So you're on a wireless network, so your range is huge. So if your profiler, if you're on stage, let's just pretend, I know I don't leave, this thing never leaves my little home studio. I don't gig, I don't tour, I don't do anything like that. But say you did, there are a lot of people that do. This could be backstage. Your profiler could be backstage somewhere. Your iPad could be up front on stage with you, and you'll be able to see and tweak all your settings and stuff on stage. You could have somebody in the back, or you could have your remote, you know, your profiler remote sitting, you know, on your pedal board or whatever, so you can control what rigs you're currently using, and then use the iPad to dial in if there's something a little bit wrong while you're on stage. You know, nothing is the same from being at home and dialing, or in your studio dialing stuff in and then getting on stage. So this would be the best use case I could think of while you're there. Now at home, I don't think there's a lot of use case for this unless you're sitting away from where your Kemper or where your computer is and you want to do some quick editing on a preset or on a rig. You can do it this way. Other than that, I don't see a huge need for it. You know, other than that. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. So let's cut out of this. Let's go to the conclusion and wrap this show up for today. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video today. So one thing I forgot to mention is if you are trying to do this, what I'm doing here with the Kemper, and hooking this up, if you're on stage or somewhere where you're not at home and you need to hook all this stuff up and get your iPad working, you're going to need a wireless router, and you're going to need a PoE injector of some kind. Now I went out and I tried to look for a wireless router that includes like a PoE. PoE stands for Power over Ethernet, and you're going to need that if you want to hook up your Kemper remote. Because normally when you hook up your Kemper remote, you're using that Ethernet jack on the back of the Kemper I showed you guys earlier. That's how you connect your remote. So without that, you need to connect it into the network so the Kemper can see it. So, but it needs to receive power over Ethernet. Kemper does that natively, that is a Ethernet jack with PoE. So you're going to need a PoE port. So the problem with that is you're going to have a wireless router. You're going to have the PoE device in order to power that and connect all that together. So what does that mean? That means that you need 2 more power supplies to take with you. So you're going to have to plug in your Kemper, you're going to have to plug in your wireless router and your PoE injector. So you're going to have 3 different devices that you're going to have to do. And I couldn't seem to find a wireless one. So if anybody has any links, you can post to the comment section and you know, come up with any solutions that you can. Like I said, I tried to find stuff and I really can't find anything that's wireless with PoE. There's plenty of normal routers that have PoE ports on them, but nothing that I could find that has wireless built in as well. Either way, you're still going to need to plug something else in to power if you're going to go this route. Now, if that's a problem for you, like say you have a Kemper head like I have and then a Kemper rack, and you use the Kemper rack to take to shows with you, my suggestion at that point, if you want to use the iPad app, if it's just something that you think is, hey, this is a game changer for me, then I would probably sell the Kemper rack and get a Kemper stage. That way you're kind of covered then with your wireless needs, and you won't have to worry about any of the stuff I just talked about. So food for thought. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments section and how you like the video. And again, please like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing here, and please really hit the like button. It helps. It really does. Yeah, with all the algorithm YouTube stuff, it helps. So anyway, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. This is John with the Guitars and Gear Show. Take care. Bye. Oh, bye.